July 15th dawned as a day that we anticipated to be a great day of celebration.
I want to be first. How are you?
How you doing?
July 15th was an incredible day.
And while the script had been written well, what we didn't know is that July 15th would be one of the most historic days in the state, and end up with the script being completely rewritten by forces unknown to Lieutenant Governor Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee.
We were ready for a big day, obviously, with a new governor being sworn in, and an inauguration that was really in the middle of the summer, which was unheard of. But then to have Governor Tucker call 5 minutes before Governor Huckabee was to go to the House chambers and be sworn in and say, "I've changed my mind, I don't think I'm going to resign after all."
Just minutes before 2 o'clock is when you let me know, and I just really do not feel, in all candor, that that's the way this should be handled. But if you're insistent upon it, then we'll have no choice but to notify the Speaker and the President Pro Tem and the people of the state that you've chosen not to step down. I think that at this late moment, with your commitment having never been qualified in any other way, I must tell you, I would strongly disagree with the actions you're taking today, and I just have to tell you in all personal candor that, or be dishonest with myself. You are now going back on what you told the people, and it seems to me that well, let me please finish. It seems that your actions are being done in your interest, not in the interest of the people of Arkansas. All right, thank you. He has said, I'm having it, absolutely believe I'm not in a scene from the Twilight Zone. 2 minutes before 2 o'clock, the governor calls and tells me that he has decided that since he has filed a motion on Friday, he expects that as a result of the motion, his jury verdict will be set aside within the next 2 weeks, that it would nullify any reason for him having resigned. And what he wishes to do is simply, and he is planning and has the letter before him, not to resign, but to merely temporarily transfer the responsibilities of the office to me until this can be settled by the courts approximately August the 19th.
And about 2 p.m., we received a formal letter delivered in the Lieutenant Governor's office from Governor Tucker that basically said that due to a legal technicality, he had chosen not to resign, and that he was going to simply relinquish his duties as governor to the lieutenant governor.
You know, we had a true constitutional crisis there at that point for about 4 hours.
Our side. This isn't about us and him. This is about right and wrong. This is about just and unjust. This is about promises and breaking them, and it's as simple as that.
Not since the Brooks-Baxter War in 1874 had we had 2 men who claimed to be governor essentially at the same time.
I think the governor realizes this is a critical moment in the state's history, and we're going to proceed calmly as he has up until this point.
And it was a madhouse. You had a Capitol full of people who had come to see Mike Huckabee become governor, and once the word spread throughout the Capitol by word of mouth that Tucker was not going to resign, that crowd turned ugly.
And we need to define the constitutional issue of when a person that's convicted is removed from office.
I had no idea what was happening because I was in there and I didn't come into the press conference. So a friend of mine came from the auditor's office and told me what just happened. So the phones just started ringing off the wall, cussing and saying everything under the sky.
Today, Governor Tucker more or less went back on a promise that he made to the people of Arkansas and to the state legislature just last week, in fact, that he would resign.
It was an interesting day in that we spent months, about a month, a little over a month, preparing for that day. The inevitability of Mike Huckabee becoming governor.
And fortunately, Lieutenant Governor Huckabee had an amazing ability to keep calm, to keep people around him calm, to set the direction of working with the legislature. And he delivered, I think, one of the best speeches of the entire 10 years he's served in the governor's office on his first day.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I fully expected to address you as the 44th governor of the state of Arkansas.
It's the kind of speech that when you're listening to it, you know you're listening to a moment in history that's very, very important. It's the kind of speech that gives you chills.
So tonight I stand before you with no script, with no written words, just a few moments to share with you from the depths of my heart, as a fellow Arkansas citizen, exactly where we are in this very critical moment in our state's history.
I actually tuned in and watched his speech to the state and was astounded at his ability in such a crisis situation to display calm the whole state after that.
Now, let me simply express to you, we want America to see the best we are and come to understand Arkansas is truly a small but a wonderful, wonderful state with wonderful, wonderful people. God bless and good night.
His common theme was to relieve the people, to keep everybody calm, and what was best for the state. It was always what was best for Arkansas, what was best for the citizens of Arkansas.
We just received moments ago a letter dated at 4:40 this afternoon. We respectfully refuse to receive the governor's letter and respectfully will continue acting as acting governor and will carry on as planned unless a court of law fully and completely tells us that it is inappropriate to do so.
It was so chaotic, it's hard to put into words. In fact, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette the next morning would describe it in the lead to their main story as the most chaotic day in the history of Arkansas politics.
The fact that citizens from around this state got in their vehicles and drove to this building that day because they thought that their governor was not going to be allowed to be governor, that was amazing. I mean, people came from miles and miles around. It wasn't storming the Bastille, but it felt pretty close.
There was such chaos surrounding those circumstances during that time back in 1996, and to be able to actually see someone assume the role of that responsibility with dignity and really peace amidst the storm. I mean, it was truly a remarkable thing to be able to witness that.
To see how calm Mike Huckabee was in the midst of this storm. He was the calmest person in the building all day long and had every right to be the most frazzled person in the building.
With the council in our office, we fully believe that the governor is not acting in accordance with the Constitution. Therefore, I have no intention of turning over the reins back to Governor Tucker at this time.
And he's at his best in a time of crisis. And that particular day, it was just amazing to watch. You would have thought he'd been doing that all of his life. You know, the way he dealt with the legislators, the way he dealt with the lawyers. He's not an attorney, but he had a very firm grasp of the Constitution.
And he shines in times of crisis. I think that's when he's at his best. He has an incredible ability to focus, and he did.
Well, he's grounded. I mean, and when you have that kind of a grounding that is established in a foundation of faith, I think that is, you know, they always say crises don't actually create your character, it reveals it. So that foundation is built years and years and years in advance and prior to any type of struggle that may arise.
We are going to swear the new governor in the House chamber at 6:45 today.
I, Mike Huckabee,
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of governor
of
of the State of Arkansas,
upon which I am now about to enter. So help me God.